All right, thanks for staying tuned. Welcome to this other segment of The Verdict here on Channels Television. Our 24-hour coverage, which has, of course, begun today on the elections of 2019. Already you've listened to our colleagues in the morning segment, Chamberlain, Millicent, and, of course, Ayo Makinde. And now this is the afternoon segment kicking off. My name is Ladia Kiridoluale. The elections are, let me use Ijema's phrase now, if you don't count today, the elections are here. So we'll bid you welcome. We'll be here, bring you up to date, up to speed with everything that has been going on, everything that is going on, everything that is expected to go on over the next couple of hours into election proper, and then, of course, during the elections and thereafter. Hi, guys.
Hey, I'm Ijoma Onyato, and the thing about this particular election, from Channels Television's point of view, is your participation, and there's so many ways that you can do that. You can use the hashtag, that's hashtag the verdict, or 2019 elections, that's the second hashtag. And then you can also, I mean, we have a poll going on, the poll stream,
that's
hashtag
right.
poll stream, and the idea of that is, if you voted in 2015, so tell us what your experience was, and whether you think anything is going to be different this time around. And then, of course, you also have our PVC campaign, so you hold up your PVC, take a picture. I was looking at one this morning. It had like 4 people.
Oh, yes.
But they were, at least it wasn't one PVC.
Yes, I mean, each person had his or her own. So it wasn't a family group crowded around one
yes,
PVC.
because it's one person per PVC. But just to say thank you for sending them in, and do send us some more, Auntie.
And indeed, Neo Taibe, thank you for joining us. The excitement is almost palpable. I mean, if you're walking the streets this morning, everywhere you turn, everyone's talking about the elections. But it's not just enough to talk about it. The end of it is go out and do something about it. But we're here, as we said, to let you know, to bring you up to speed about what's happening around the country, beyond the shores of the country, the mood of Nigerians outside the shores of the country. We'll also be letting you know about that as well.
Did we welcome you to the election studio?
No, we didn't. He's just joining us, really.
Like first-time voter, first-time presenter. Thank you.
Yeah, but long time back in.
Yeah, rub it in.
Okay. I see that they put Shehu on. I don't know whether that's to remind us that Shehu is there, but maybe he's the one he's the one who communicated that. Of course, Shehu Kibaloye is our political correspondent, and Shehu has been with his favorite toy since Monday. I think actually Shehu doesn't leave the side of that magic board. Shehu, hi, how are you doing?
Hi, guys. The excitement is unbelievable across the country. The kind of stories and the news that you are hearing shows just how much Nigerians are ready for this. So we need to put this to test. If you are excited, if you're anticipating tomorrow, it's beyond you talking about it online. It's about you getting your PVC and going there to vote. I've not been able to vote over the last years not because I don't want to vote, but because I do all the business of national duties such as being on television on election day.
I thought you were going to say because you're just turning 18.
No. So this is what we do right here to give you all the news and information that you need, especially as this election. If you look at me, I probably have a red tie. I'm still in the mood of Valentine. I could not celebrate Valentine yesterday because I was here. Plus the fact that you can see green and white, green Nigerian color, and tomorrow we'll be doing a civic responsibility. Thank you so much, everyone, and welcome to our coverage, robust coverage of the 2019 general elections. Guys, it's going to be exciting. What do you feel?
Well, one of the things that I looked at was that yesterday, after the program, I was looking at the responses and so on. Somebody pointed out something that I hadn't thought of, and I don't know if it's going to happen that way or not. The person said, well, yes, in terms of convenience, it's easier this time. If you go there, you do the accreditation, and then you vote. You wait, the votes are counted, then you go home, as opposed to what was the system in 2015. But that, again, because the accreditation and voting are taking place simultaneously, that the old system was better in the sense that when they finished doing accreditation, you know how many people were accredited. And therefore, whatever the results are after the voting, if the number of voters then exceeded the number of people who were accredited, then you knew there was something wrong. But because this time around, both are going on at the same time, that may make it a bit more difficult. And I was like, okay, which would we do that would be completely okay? Because while you're talking about convenience in terms of accreditation and voting, there's this other side that maybe those who are talking about convenience didn't think about, but that was the old system, and you found people going home after accreditation, and then they don't come back to vote. They forget, or in some cases they can't really summon up the willpower again to come from wherever it is they came the first time. But again, food for thought against tomorrow.
Laddie, the whole lot that we'll be talking about is the eve of the election, isn't it?
Yes.
We'll be talking about it a lot. Let me take you to the classroom of election voting. For someone like Laddie, Laddie has experienced so many election cycles in Nigeria. But tonight, let me quickly show you. I'm going to be your electoral officer tonight, and I'm sharing.
Ladies first.
All right. So I'm going to. This is what the ballot paper will look like, everyone. This is a specimen, not the real ballot paper. You know, before someone says that Channel Television already has a ballot paper.
Exactly.
This is a specimen. We have the benefit of being the news leader to have this, okay? And so you can have an understanding of how many political parties are going to be on the ballot. You've seen specimen written on it. Before now, we have just a handful of political parties on the ballot. But this time around, you can see it's going to be in 3 blocks. So if you're careful enough not to show these rear sides,
Okay.
So if our viewers are looking at it from the way you are holding it, they can have an understanding of what it will look like. Some kind of education from.
Maybe we should just hold it up.
Maybe we should just hold it up.
Absolutely.
Fantastic.
So this is a very good classroom of
Students, right?
Students.
yeah, these are my students.
Well agreed. Well agreed.
That's interesting. So you look at it, and there's been a lot of talk about which finger you're going to use to
because the thumb's too big.
So if you look at it, so your thumb is naturally bigger than all the other fingers that you have. So even the political parties are advising their followers to use the index finger because it looks a bit smaller than the other finger. So if you use the index finger and it goes into any of the boxes across the political party symbol.
To be sure, this is the index finger.
That's the index finger. So
then it depends on how big your index finger is.
Exactly.
Because you could use your tiny finger.
Absolutely. So it depends on which finger that you will use.
But if you're going to use the index finger, you know, if you put the ink on the surface directly, it goes bigger than the box.
True.
So are we now thinking
This is not
about
the
using
exact
the
size.
tip?
The ballot paper is slightly bigger than this.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
It's slightly bigger than this.
So you don't have to just use a tip. You can actually...
Yes, you can use it. So what you're saying is a lot of the time, for example, I'm putting my print on one of these, and you can easily fold it, and it does look like it comes into another box.
Oh, yes.
That's
So
right.
then,
So
what that means in terms of voting logistics is that it is invalid. Because the print will now go over here, and it prints on this. So if you look at what INEC has been saying around this issue, is the fact that when you print here, you blow it. As soon as you blow it, just for it to dry, and then you don't fold it.
No.
Then you do this way.
You do this
No,
way.
wait. Is it a fold or a roll?
No, a roll, yeah.
A roll.
So you roll it this way.
All right.
So roll it this way.
Okay.
So by the time
roll
you're
it
done, it
this
should
way.
look like this?
So it looks something like
a
folded this
Like
way.
a cylinder.
Yeah.
Like a cylinder,
Then you toss it right into the ballot.
So you roll it, then flatten it.
You flatten it. Then it goes right
flatten
into
it.
it.
You actually flatten it.
So,
So you can flatten it.
So
Okay.
blow, roll,
Roll
and flatten.
so
And
what happens then is that if you do it this way, the way we've always known it, because at that time we always have, in the past election, we have the boxes here, and we had the icons and the symbols of the political parties over there. So
right.
if no matter what happens, if you
It will
vote it this
still-
way,
that it
it
will
will
still-
So, but this time around is different. What it then means is that if you are not careful, you're voting for 2 or 3 political parties at the same time.
At the same time.
So
Which
that's
of course
why-
will mean
So it
that
brings-
that ballot is
There's a
invalid.
lot of voter education that needs to be done, especially for our rural voters who may not have the benefit of having this kind of experience of knowing some of the things that we're talking about on a day like as this. And so it's interesting that whatever you're watching, if you're watching Channels Television, you are ahead because you have a sense the fact that Channels Television has a specimen of the ballot paper.
And we've given you a tutorial.
The emphasis being on the specimen.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a specimen. You can see just across it. So,
Sean, one more time. Can you go through again? Can any of the fingers will work?
Any of the fingers. You have 10 of them.
You have 10 fingers.
You have 10.
Okay, I do have 10, but 5 on one hand.
5 on one hand.
Okay. Yeah. And at the point of registration, you captured all 10.
Biometrics.
Biometrics. You captured all 10. Yeah. So any of the fingers will work.
Any of the fingers.
So if you get there and you're not comfortable using the index finger or the middle finger,
you could use anything.
You can use any of the fingers, and it's big enough to take that print, right?
Absolutely. So the idea of using a print is just an indication that this is what I wanted
to do.
Exactly.
So it then does not matter which of the fingers you've used. What matters, because at the end of the day, we'll show in another few minutes, we'll show our viewers the steps and the procedure in the voting process.
The 7 steps.
Yeah, the 7 steps, absolutely.
But one thing I was going to
You're
ask you...
You're a very good student of it. You remember a whole lot of things.
One thing I was going to ask you was whether they eventually took delivery of the quick drying ink. You know, the INEC chairman had said the ink will be quick drying, and so as you do, now you're saying we should blow.
Just to be sure.
Okay.
So it's better if you have the quick drying
just
one.
To be sure.
Just to blow full, and you roll it over.
Okay.
And for those who do not know, we have 91 political parties, and they're all captured here.
Yeah,
so if you're looking, maybe you can take a picture of this from your screen so that you know where your political party is.
A general idea.
A general idea of what your political parties will look like. Yeah. And so this gives you a sense of what this is all about. So we have all of the political parties lined up in 3 rows. And afterwards, you look at right in front the fingerprint where you can have, so it's bold right there on your screen, and you can have a sense of what this will look like on Saturday.
And boldly written there is specimen.
Specimen. So Channels does not have any of the ballot papers. We don't keep ballot papers. What we do here to keep our viewers informed, and like I said, I keep saying this, we are the news leader. 9-time award, 11-time. 12 time.
This is your maths. We'll be talking about it all morning.
No, I'm not joining them. I'm not joining them. You know,
I've pleaded.
I'm not joining them.
You should pardon me.
I'm not joining them today.